Alright guys, g'day, welcome back. We're showcasing the best, I guess, Super Dragon Ball Heroes team on the eve of the Super Dragon Ball Heroes celebration coming next week to both versions of Dokkan. It'll be Tuesday for the majority of you on the 21st. I think it'll be the 22nd for me here over in Australia with the time zones being as they are. But I've opted to run this team with 7 unique units. Obviously the limit breakers can lead everyone for 200%. Together, so I thought I'd run them. Thanks to Joe Sayan. Shout out, by the way. He has a channel and a podcast. I'd highly encourage you to go check him out. He does a very good job. Jesus, 700k defense and all that damage reduction from Gohan is very good. But yeah, Joe Sayan, is the one who provided the friend unit for us today, so I really appreciate that. Slightly different to mine in build, but mine is also rainbow, so it's still a very good look at what to expect from a rainbow Goku nonetheless. Vegito here is aged. I mean, he barely cracked 200k defense there, and he has nothing else to speak for other than the counter. He's taking normals, but he has been confirmed to Easy A. The V-Jump leaks, came out in the last 24 hours. We're going to miss that super there with Goku at the end, which is a shame. He's probably I want to say the weak link, only in the sense that he doesn't link very well, pardon the pun, with the majority of the rest of the team here. But still one of the better units to come out of the Dragon Ball Heroes batches in general. Like, there's not that extra. That additional from Goku stopped him from taking those four attacks there. He needs 7 total attacks taken to get that extra buff to his passive. And it's a trigger. It's not a gradual thing, so you need to take the 7th attack for it to kick in at all. Limit Breaker Vegeta is similar, though he needs to perform 5 super attacks for it to kick in. As opposed to receive 7 that the Goku is. Now these two are a very good pair, the Gohan and the Bardock. This is going to be quite a good rotation for the two of them, with a 40% support from Pan on the end. 5 mil, 460k defense. There's the additional again, 5.4 million and over 500k defense with all that damage reduction as well. He's a crazy good unit. I'd argue he's the best. Super Saiyan 4 Gohan is arguably the best Dragon Ball Heroes unit bar none. 7.3 mil with 360k defense, guaranteed crits on this turn. He also dodges, he has that 30% chance. Forgive some of the builds that you see in the hidden potential system on the side there. Many of these units were built years ago when the game was a lot different, and I just don't have the ability to spend stones on fixing up their hidden potential just yet. We'll see how some of these banners go next week. Hopefully I'll pull a couple of extras maybe in some cases, and I can play around with it a bit. But 1, 2, 3, and then he's got at least one more coming, so that's his 4th attack taken. So he won't build up this turn. Hopefully he will next turn. He has no built-in additionals, but he does get 30% to his super attack effect per additional, so the extra the AA is a little bit of value there for you, especially because he gets that crit chance as well. Vegeta there just doing up to, is that 600k defense? Yeah, they got Vegito on the end, Vegito here supports, by the way, Giant 8 power for 1 key and 20% to attack and defense. He also supports crossover for the same. They stack. So for units like Limit Breaker Vegeta and Goku there, the Gohan Super Saiyan 4 and the Bardock Super Saiyan 4, they are all getting 40%, whilst the Pan and the Super Saiyan 3 Goku will be limited to the 20%, given that they're not Giant 8 power units. But at least Vegito is not restricted. You know, he gives himself that 40%. So on any team where he's maybe potentially not supporting at all, he's at least giving himself the stats. So I'm hoping when they Easy A him, they keep him somewhat unrestricted like that. You know, his personal performance is not dependent on the rest of the team. The rest of the team just is able to benefit from being a specific type around him. So unlike the Trunks, for example, who came the following year, who gets buffs per Dragon Ball Heroes unit on the team, it's really unfriendly. That poor unit, man. Anyway, we'll talk about him next year, hopefully when he Easy A's. But hey, look, that's not quite 7 mil, 400 and odd thousand defense, with the 30% chance to dodge, which fortunately we get here. Otherwise, I do fear he probably would have taken quite a bit of damage. At full HP, I don't know if we would have died. But, I mean, a dodge is always a better option. So, yes, we will take 3 shots there. I think the third will be the one to max... Oh, no, the second one should be the one that activates his passive. And you'll see it there as he takes the hit. Yeah, there you go. and now he's instantly taking nothing. He was only taking 4 digits anyway. Nearly 10 mil and 560k defense with 30% damage reduction is incredibly good. Incredibly good. Oh, there's the additional 10 mil and nearly 700k defense. It's a shame what it takes for him to get there and how pandered to he needs to be. Otherwise, without all that, he's really not all that. And unfortunately, I wish they just swapped the support. See, the Vegeta supports 40% attack when there is a Goku on the turn. 600k defense, very nice. That's his second lot of 2 supers, so that's his 4th super attack. The first super attack he does in the next appearance will be the one to activate the rest of his passive. Yeah, and the Goku supports defense 40% when there's Vegeta on the turn. So obviously, if you're floating onto that rotation now, you're simply getting 40% attack and defense. However, I wish they switched those. Vegeta's probably going to end up getting a little bit more play than what Goku does as time moves on, simply for the fact that Giant 8 power is always going to be, or I mean, it was more common than full power, but I mean, that's maybe not the case so much anymore. But there's always going to be more Gokus releasing than what there will Vegetas. So there's less chance of the Limit Breaker Goku receiving. What's he going to take here? All that damage reduction in guard. 120k is very acceptable. That's barely 20% HP. That's good. But yeah, the Limit Break Goku is just not going to have too many Vegetas releasing to help him activate that defense support, let alone on the categories that he needs. Whereas Vegeta, I mean, Vegeta just got a Giant 8 power Goku who leads him as well, so he's got the ability to just float on that team. Yeah, Vegeta's probably going to get a little bit more play. And if you haven't seen the biggest attack stat you'll ever see in Dokkan, make sure you check out that last video I did. Limit Breaker Vegeta was a core part of that, and I kind of didn't anticipate it until it happened. It's a decent little team. No support for, I mean, well, they support each other and Bardock, obviously. So it's 40% across the board to attack and defense. Vegeta's taking a little bit from normals, but he's dodging just as many by the looks of it. Goku's good to go, so slot 2 is his spot now, especially with type disadvantage. 550k defense. That's a little bit lower than, or thereabouts, what you saw last turn. Keep in mind he did have the extra 40% damage, 40% support last turn from Vegeta, I believe, or Pan. I can't remember who was on rotation. But this is the only turn that they won't have the 40% support, given that I'm floating Pan and Vegeta. Goku's doing very nicely there. That crit's built in as well, 9.5 mil, all that damage reduction. Everyone's looking mighty fine now. And Bardock's dodging, which is good. It's one of those successful runs where the dodge is really playing a good part. 7 mil and 450k defense with 30% dodge. He's acceptable. He's falling behind a little bit as time goes on, though. I mean, similar to the Goku and Vegeta discussion I had before, where it's going to be easier for one unit to, find his way on teams as time goes on, easier than the others. Gohan is going to find his way on teams far easier than what Bardock will, I would imagine. Though Giant 8 power isn't super common on some of the teams that Gohan needs, whereas crossover is probably a little bit more common on some of the teams that Bardock might make a cameo in. But we're doing pretty good here. Not that Baby's a super hard fight or anything like that, but I think he's a good challenge for this team. And Pan, unfortunately, I was hoping to show off a little bit more. This is kind of going to be her best look defensively. Not there. Because she builds up defense every time she dodges. So I was hoping there might have been, see, that's her highest defense stat. I was hoping to sort of show it pre-super and then dodge a few. Oh, well, it's kind of hard to actually show off like that, isn't it? But I was hoping she'd dodge a few and then do a super so we could see how high it could get, but we don't, unfortunately. Vegeta will finish off here with the Dokkan attack. If not the Dokkan attack, the guaranteed addition will come, especially because he has type advantage as well. I couldn't think of a good way to display the defense stat here. I do apologize. He's hitting a nice healthy 8 million there attack, but considering it only shows down on the lineup, I didn't want to cover up the HP with the defense stat. Whereas he's hitting 8.4 mil there with over 700k defense. Now that's raw defense, so not the greatest, but he's still probably relatively safe versus most difficult normals in the game at that point. But that's the crossover / Dragon Ball, Super Dragon Ball Heroes team. Let me know what you reckon, guys. Are you pumped for the upcoming celebration? Are you summoning? Let me know in the comments below. If you like the video, subscribe, do all the rest. You can find me at any socials you see at the bottom of the screen there. And until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Bye now.